We'll have a chat after.
Wow.
Yeah,
Can you say that?
No. Born and bred up on Crescent Avenue, next to the school.
Yeah.
We stop off about 3 or 4 points. I used to stop off here because of what's behind me. And when you think of the heyday of mining in Lancashire and other coalfields, there were pit heaps and slag heaps everywhere. I must admit, when I was young, it's a way of navigating your way around certain slag heaps and pit heaps, such as Cleworth Hall and Cutacre, were visible from miles away. So this is quite a rare survivor, and there are people who say it should survive as part of the history of the landscape, really. When you think how ancient mining activity is in Lancashire coalfield, at least back to the 12th century. So this one has survived really by being part of a private estate, really. And it's unusual in terms of other colliery waste tips. If you're one of those people who gets excited about these things, somebody has to, it's me. Because of the vegetation that it's managed to grow on it. It's quite a range of trees, deciduous trees, pine trees, corn trees, all sorts growing on this, including the usual silver birch as well. And experiments were carried out here in the 1960s by students from Liverpool University, trying out different planting regimes, to use a posh term, and it's been quite successful, so it has survived. So when the colliery was sunk in 1900, they would have a staging that brought the dirt from the picking sheds. In the picking sheds you had women who were separating out bits of dirt and shale that was passing by on the conveyor. Any dirt or shale they'd just throw over the shoulder, and it would end up being shoveled up, thrown into a tub, and the tub would go along a wagon way and then along the top of the waste up and tip sideways. So there'll be a lot of coal in there where they've made a mistake in the picking shed. There's probably tens of thousands of tons of coal in there. Not that there's a use for it these days. So that is quite a survivor. So as I say, there's plenty of coal in there if you go rooting about. Perfectly usable coal of the type would be crushed and used in power stations. It's still there. Quite a lot of burnt shale. You might have noticed it when you're coming along the path, and down here as well.
Yeah.
Some of the older people here might remember colliery waste tips burning and the sulphury smell from the sulphur that's trapped within the coal seams. That's really the theory behind fracking. Drill down until you reach a band of shale that has gas still trapped within it, break up the rocks, release the gas. Although it doesn't seem to be going ahead, does it?
Oh, and there's a nice brick, I
used to collect bricks. I had about 350 bricks.
In the front room, girl.
There's another Holton brick. Well, it's called a pressed common brick. So my brick collection now is at the Mining Museum at Assa Green. If you get there.
You might have noticed too when you were walking along the path.
Quite a lot of pebbles along the path. They were left behind when the glaciers retreated 12,500 years ago. So I had a geologist on a guided walk, and he picked one of the pebbles up and cracked it open. He said, "Oh yes, that's Eskdale granite," he said. So he knew exactly what type of stone it was and where it had come from. The thought of stones here, arriving here from the Lake District, is amazing, really.
So that's under your feet.
Right, so we'll carry on a bit further. Right.
Jag ska guida dem, för jag är bra natt.